Continuing coverage of Go Further with Ford, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine. We're here with Chris Elliott, the famous actor. And what films are you doing nowadays?
Well, I'm going to do a sequel to Cabin Boy.
Okay.
And a prequel at the same time.
Yeah.
The sequel is called Cabin Boy Part 2, The Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, The Electric Boogaloo.
And the prequel, To Be Determined.
Okay.
That's the name of the movie.
Yeah. I think the prequel should be The Pipes Are Dirty.
That would be a good point.
That would be a good point.
And then, yeah, we can finally have payoff.
Okay. We're talking about Microsoft. Now, we know that Microsoft Sync is in a Ford. They've talked about that for years. It's been in the car for years, and it's a great system. But, you know, we don't talk too much about connecting up the phone. And of course, Microsoft has Windows Phone 7.
Yep.
And connecting up into a Microsoft Sync system, you figure, is going to be very easy.
Yep.
So we just thought we'd get a little bit of info on what happens with the Sync. Is it pretty much the same thing as if you had another smartphone hooking it up?
Yeah. So the great thing about the Ford Sync platform is that it's built on software, and so it works with all phones. So
Okay.
whether you bring in a Windows phone, a BlackBerry, an iPhone, an Android, or a flip phone, I have friends will not give up their Razor.
Yeah.
Even though it's 9 years old now. That works with the system.
Crazy people.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah, so it works the same way. So you just bring it in. You tell it that you want to hook it up with Sync.
Mm-hmm.
You type in a little code, and then your device always works.
Okay.
So you could be on your phone before you get in your car, and as soon as you turn on your car, it transfers the car or phone or the call to the car.
Okay.
And then boom, you're going. And you never have to pair it more than once,
Oh, that's good.
which is really cool.
That's good.
And if you have a family and your wife has a phone, you can pair a bunch of phones. You can have your favorite, but then if they get in the car, that they can use the phone as well.
And if you both have Fords and you both have Sync systems in there, you should be able to pair up both cars.
Yep.
And then
absolutely.
drive down the highway, and then the pairing just keeps fighting for each other.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So now we got a series of phones here. We've got the Nokia, we got the Lumina right here. We've got that's the 900. This is the 710 right here. We've got a Samsung Focus S and Focus 2 over there, and these are all smartphones that you can get to pair with it.
Absolutely.
What was the biggest challenge about doing the pairing of any type of phone into the Sync system?
The biggest challenge is the life cycle of a consumer device of a phone is very short, where the life cycle of a car is very long.
Mm-hmm.
So people keep their phones for about an average of 18 months. So they're coming out fast. Turn on the TV, open up Engadget, open up any publication that's talking about phones. There's a new one coming every day, right?
Okay.
And they're pumping them out. And so it's how do you build a system that can adjust?
Yeah.
And how do you build a system that can, no matter what OS is out there, that you can work with? And then how do you build a system that works in China and works in Europe, where they have even more phones and they rely on them even more? So it's, credit goes to our engineering staff who spends, countless hours really testing phones, making sure that they work with it, and doing a lot of, the work in the room late at night with code to ensure that people have a great experience when they jump into a Ford.
Okay. We have Brian here, and we're going to talk to him in a couple seconds here about how the different types of phones and a little bit more about the connectivity. So thank you very much, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. All right, we're back here with Brian Seitz, and what's your role at Microsoft?
I work on the communications team for Windows Phone.
Okay, so basically working with how that communicates with the Sync.
It's a marketing function.
Okay.
Marketing team. Yep.
Okay. So you basically the pairing with the phone. We talked with Chris a little bit about that, pairing any device with the Sync system, how easy it is. Let's talk a little bit about the apps that are in there. What do we see? What can we see if we decide I'm going to get a Lumina 900 and I'm going to pair that with my Sync system?
Well, Windows Phone we just crossed the 100,000 apps kind of milestone. So we've got tons of great apps for most of the ones that people are looking for.
Okay.
When you're pairing it to your car, a lot of times people are looking for music apps. So we've got things like Spotify or iHeartRadio. But we've also got Microsoft's first-party music app called Zune.
Okay.
And you can get the Zune Pass, which is a $9.95 a month, and you get access to unlimited downloads.
Yeah. Lots of podcasts. So.
Lots of podcasts too. Yeah.
What's your favorite app out of all of them?
I use iHeartRadio a lot because it's cool to be able to listen into different radio stations from across the country, and it's free and it's easy to use and everything. That's really cool. The other thing that's really cool with Windows Phone and Forward Sync is that Windows Phone is the only phone where you can do voice texting all without ever touching your phone when it's paired in the car. So your phone's in your bag, you're driving down the road, Sync will let you know, or Windows Phone will connected with Sync will say, hey, you got a text message from Chris. Do you want to read it or ignore? You can just say read. It will read you the text, and you can respond in natural language back, and it will dictate your text, and you can send it back to the person.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love how we can take something so simple that we normally do. I remember 5-10 years ago I had the Nokia phone,
Yep.
and I had the raised buttons, and I could text like crazy without having to take my eyes off the road. I would just simply be like this.
Yep.
And there we go. I got it all text. I looked at it once to make sure I got all the letters down correct, and then I sent it off.
Yeah.
It's tough to
go.
stay.
Yeah.
Stay. Anyway, so any cool apps coming out in the future that you can talk about, or?
Well, we just did an announcement a couple weeks ago where we gave kind of a platform preview of the next version of Windows Phone. And what's really cool is that the core of Windows is now coming to Windows Phone, so the NT kernel. And what that means for a developer is that you can build an app for Windows 8, which is coming out later this year. And with a little bit of rejiggering and recompiling, you could bring that app to Windows Phone. So It's going to be a huge opportunity for people that are building apps, and also a great benefit for people that are buying Windows Phone or Windows 8, because it's really going to have a whole new kind of tide of apps coming to the platform.
What about Surface Tablet? Is that the same thing is going to be there? Is it, well, first of all, is it going to be like the other competitors where if you have a phone version, you have a tablet version of applications?
Not that I don't believe so, but I'm not the most versed on kind of what's going down with Surface. But the idea is that, Surface is running Windows 8. The idea is that across Windows Phone and Windows 8, you've got the same core infrastructure, so that when you're building apps for one or the other, it's easy to bring it to the other platform.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about just really quick about protection, security. So of course you can't play Angry Birds while you're driving, but there are other applications that might be distracting to a driver. Can you talk for a second about how Microsoft is working on that?
Well, I think the best case is just what I said with text. So, we take something that a lot of people are doing, whether they're in the car or on the road or whatever, and we're trying to make it safer by being able to do it all through your voice.
Okay.
But you can also do that with search. So you can just press the start button on Windows Phone, and you can do voice search and get navigation directions through your phone. Although if you're in a sync vehicle, you probably already have navigation in there already, so you probably could use that. But that's kind of the key one right now, is basically using your voice to control your phone.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it.
Anyway, there you go. You find out how you can connect any type of phone to a Microsoft Sync system, and of course, getting yourself a Lumina 900. Can I have this one?
Sure.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'll take it as far as this cord will. You got to take the cord too. So this is Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine. We got more video over at Go Further with Ford, and stick around.